Okay. Hello everybody, my name is Senkara and welcome back to another episode of... I was a bit early that time. Welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club. Plus, we're delving right back into the side story with Reflecion Part 2. If you haven't already, be sure to check out Reflecion Part 1. We did that, should have been out yesterday, assuming this video was done on time. And yeah, time for Reflecion Part 2. Begin side story. Yes, please. Alright. So, a new day arrived. So yesterday, again, just a quick recap. There was a fight between Natsuki and Yuri. Surprise, surprise, because Yuri was being a bit of a bitch and Natsuki was just defending herself really and wasn't doing anything wrong. Okay, that makes me sound bad, but it's true. Okay, Natsuki said nothing wrong, and Yuri definitely did. And Monika's trying to fix things, so let's get right back into it. A new day arrives. Sayuri arrives at the club room earlier than usual. That is, not late. Typical Sayuri. As she enters, it appears to be empty still. Wow, really? So she sits down at a desk and pulls out a sheet of paper, primed to jot down her thoughts. Sayuri has made a habit of scribbling her thoughts and feelings onto paper whenever possible, as it tends to serve as her best inspiration for poetry. That's awesome. I love that, Sayuri. You go, girl. Ooh, serious expression. My heart feels vacant because the ship sailed away. Yo! Yay! Natsuki's theme! I love this song. Oh, this is the best song ever. Natsuki? Natsuki pokes her head out from behind the closet door. Thought it was a bit weird that Sayuri arrived first. Okay, she must have been looking for a manga. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. But it would have been a lot more awkward if I didn't say anything, that's for sure. I doubt you want me listening into your poetry thing. Yeah, thanks for realizing that. Should I let you finish up then? Oh no, I just do it whenever it's convenient. You're not interrupting. Where's Monika, by the way? Oh, she's out in the hallway. Why is she out in the hallway? That's a good question. Well, just in case she runs into Yuri. I see. Sometimes Yuri is too nervous to come into the club room by herself, so aww, that's so cute. Oh. Jeez, does Yuri really let things bother her for that long? Yes, she can't control her feelings. For some people, it's really hard to cope when you have a bad thought in your head. Maybe you can distract yourself for a little while, but as soon as it's just you and your thoughts again, it comes back. I just want to have a normal club meeting. It's a lot easier to pretend like it never happened if we all ignore it and move on. I mean, you're right, but I don't want to be bothered by this. It's so stupid. Her opinion of me doesn't matter anyway. Besides, it makes me feel really guilty, and I hate that too. It's okay to have feelings. It doesn't make you weak. Yeah, well, it doesn't mean that you should enjoy feeling guilty. I mean, she's not weak or anything for it, but, you know, nobody likes to feel guilty. Let's figure this out together. No, you go, Sayuri. Fine. Only because you're good at this stuff. Let's try to come up with a happy scene. Maybe that will help us understand where your bad feelings are coming from. Really? How does that work? Okay, looks like we're learning something today, boys. Well, I was happy the way things were before we had to have that conversation yesterday. Oh, I see what they're doing. Okay. So they're describing when they were last happy so they can work out what changed for her to be unhappy. Very smart, Sayuri. I like that. What part of the conversation made you upset? Was it Yuri being mean about the manga? Well, yeah. Maybe. I doubt it, though. Because my friends and other people make fun of manga all the time, but I just brush it off and ignore them. True, that's a good point. But something about it really got to me this time, and I hate that I'm letting it happen. Maybe you care about Yuri more than you think, and therefore you want her to accept it. Yeah, see, Sayuri's onto it. Is it because it came from Yuri? No, why would that matter? I mean, well, maybe. I hate that she thinks she's so much better than me just because she likes to pretend to be all sophisticated. I get that. Yeah, that's what it is. At least other people decide that they don't like me, or manga or whatever, but Yuri acts like she's too good to even give it a chance. I'm sorry. That's true, yeah, I feel that. I don't normally care when people don't like manga. I mean, I kinda care a little because the world would be a much better place if everybody liked anime. But, nonetheless, that did get to me, like Natsuki was saying. I understand. Everyone deserves a chance. Yeah, exactly. Would you give Yuri's book a chance? Ooh, snap. Ha, after this? Obviously not. Okay, but if she gave manga a chance, then would you? You know what she's asking. What about before this? Well, I would until I got bored, which wouldn't take very long. But if you actually keep an open mind, then it's not hard to realize that a story can be deep and meaningful without being needlessly complicated. I see. But you know, I like Yuri's books. Yeah, but you like manga more, right? Let's not make it a competition, shall we? We might lose. Sayuri shakes her head. No! I like them both. I like them in different ways, but I like them both. I mean, the manga, it's really honest and fun and easy to just let go with. Sure, honest, I like that, yeah. And fun, yeah, okay. And the fantasy has a lot more to interpret and uncover, and that's really rewarding to have some good quiet time together with it. That is true. I do like that interpretation, that it has a lot more to interpret and uncover. In a way, I suppose Yuri's books are their needlessly complicated things, but there can be mystery in manga, is all I mean. But I get what she's saying, it's not that, so that's okay. But the most important thing is that both the manga and the fantasy are true to themselves, so I love them both. And I think there's room for both of them to be in the same club together. Yeah. And I feel like maybe they have more in common than you would think. What do you say to that, Natsuki? How do you get along with everyone so well? This is a question that I ask every day. How does she do it? How do people like this do that? How do you do that? I used to be able to do that. How did I do that? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Help me, Sayuri. I always get into fights with people. Like, first it was with Monica when I was new to the club, and then it was with you, and now it's Yuri. Aww, Natsuki. And I'm always like, oh, that person is being such a jerk, but if they just realize that, then we could at least get along. But nobody else has this problem. And maybe the problem isn't them, I mean, I'm just saying, maybe the problem's with you, Monica. I just keep running away from the reality that everybody's just a jerk to me because nobody likes me. No, that's not quite what I meant by you're the no, hang on. And I don't know why, and I don't know what to do about it. I love you, Natsuki. I don't know what's wrong with me. I hate it. Natsuki. Sayuri puts a comforting hand on Natsuki's shoulder. You're a wonderful person. You deserve to be loved just as much as everyone else. Everyone has different ways they like to communicate, you know? And sometimes that makes it harder for us to understand each other. And Sayuri definitely never hated you or didn't like you. I mean, come on. I think that sometimes we get lucky and we make friends who are really good at the same kinds of communication, and it feels like you magically connect with them. But other times, even if both people are really nice, it's easy for them to misunderstand each other or to get the communication wrong. It's something that Yuri struggles a lot with too. It can be really hard. That takes a lot of, reflection and self-awareness. And vulnerability. I'm bad at that one. Vulnerability. I always have to be the strongest. What do you mean? I get that. I understand that completely. Tell me about that part of you. Well, it sounds stupid, but I'm really used to people being mean to me. Like my friends, and I guess my dad, like when I don't get good grades, or even stupid things like if my room isn't clean. So what am I gonna do? Cry about it? If I let myself get upset, then it's just letting them win. I'm better than that. I'm better than all of them. Oh! Right in my aortic pump. So, things always have to be someone else's fault. It feels like if something goes wrong and there's even a tiny hint that it might be my fault, then I just get really angry and I find ways to blame everything else instead. Do you see yourself as better than Yuri? If I said that, then I would just sound really full of myself. No, Our thoughts and feelings are two different things. What? What? Where's Sayori going with this? I don't know, but I'm interested to find out. Let's see. Even if we don't like our feelings, we have to understand them if we want to learn more about themselves. That's a part of vulnerability, you know? Accepting that we have feelings that we don't like. I hate that. My feelings make me a bad person. Now that is never true. Because my feelings just want to tell me that I'm so much better than her. That she's judgmental know-it-all who's stuck in her edgy phase, that I'm just way above that garbage. But I'm terrible for feeling that way. You're not terrible. You're not your feelings. But you're not your feelings. Say that to yourself, out loud. Fine. I am not my feelings. Oh, damn. I feel my heart crack. The way that I like to picture it is that those feelings are like your roommate. You live in the same house and you gotta see each other every day, and even if you can ignore each other most of the time, you're gonna run into each other every now and then. It's gonna make you feel like poop. Alright. She has bad feelings about her roommates, fair enough. So the other person is to get to know each other. Oh, so the other option is to get to know each other. You can communicate and learn from each other and maybe even help each other change for the better. Does that help you understand? Son of a bitch, Sayori! What the hell? Goodness! That was a bit much. Ugh. How do you know so much about this stuff? I just have a roommate that can be really hard to get along with. Yeah, I know you do, Sayori. Called depression? Oh, she straight out said it. I did not expect that. Depression? But you're like the happiest person I know. Oh, don't say that. That's not what depression is. I'm not my feelings. Damn. I want to be a good person like you. Natsuki crying. No. Don't hurt me like this. Aw, you little sweetheart. We're all good people. You and Yuri and Monica. And I think Yuri will eventually learn that about you. Just want to give my girl a hug. She is so sad. She just wants to be accepted. Natsuki remains silent, feeling a little overwhelmed. Me too! My commentary right now. Feeling a little overwhelmed, I can't say much. Despite Sayori's kind reassurance, a complicated mixture of pain and sadness seemed to fill her, as though flowing out from a wound inside her. Out of Sayori? Was it a result of her vulnerability? Oh no, we're talking about Natsuki, okay. No. It wasn't as though she was inflicted a wound after becoming vulnerable. It was as though she began to rediscover an old wound, one that cannot simply be bandaged and left alone any longer. Whew! Whew, boy! Whew! Hey! Finally unlocked that final background. That's awesome. Oh, just some words before we move on. I love this music, 10 out of 10, but oh, that was a bit much. Yeah, I really appreciated what Sayori was saying there. You are not your feelings. That's really, I never really thought about that before, and that hit hard. That hit hard. So that was good. I hope you guys felt something for that as well. But also, I'm really glad that there is so much focus on Sayori and Natsuki in this, because I thought it would just be Yuri and Monica, and it would just be, oh, Yuri and Monica having fun, solving their problems, I don't know. But there's a lot of Natsuki and Sayori, which is great, because I love Natsuki and Sayori the most. I mean, I love Monica the most, don't look at me like that, I'm sorry, I love you, just Monica. Yuri, what are you doing all the way over here? What am I saying? She can't hear me right now, this is a side story. She's not at that point yet, I don't think. Though she is staring directly at the camera, so that's a little concerning. I was looking for you. Please don't yell at me. Why would she be... What? What? I'm not going to yell at you. Okay, sure. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. It was unfair of me to put everyone on the spot like that. Next time, I won't just try to jump in and solve everyone's problems. I guess it's a bad habit of mine. because that's what heroes do. But some people need to learn how to do it more effectively, okay? I'll just throw that out there. There are people who do that and don't do it well, and there are people who do it and do it well, like Sayuri. See, Sayuri can jump in and solve people's problems, and she often does, but Monika is a little too forceful with it, you know? Like, hey, you two do this thing, that will really help out. No, that's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. Conversation individually is how you do it. Get them to do it themselves. Don't force it. Don't work. You're not mad at me? Why would she be mad at what? I mean, I'm mad at you, but no, I'm not that mad at her, honestly. I thought you were the one mad at me. I was so awful yesterday. Yuri curls up, recalling the details of the argument. Aw, I'm glad that you recognize your misjudgment. That's what's great about Yuri, is that she recognizes when she does something wrong, which is fantastic. It's also feel like she's just blaming herself, and it can be a little selfish sometimes. But oh well, we'll accept it in this case. On me. I can't even have a normal conversation without saying something wrong and making everyone upset. Hold on, that's not what happened at all. Let's talk about this, okay? Yuri pauses for a second, then manages a nod. Yuri's so cute. Bake sale? Hell yeah! Oh, I want to participate. Come sugar the franchise while engaging delicious home-baked goods. I feel like I got some of that wrong, but I'm fairly certain that's actually what it says. No, wait, does it actually say that? Oh no, that doesn't say sugar. That says Yuri pauses for a second and manages a nod. Monika takes a seat next to her on the staircase. I'm having a lot of negative thought patterns, and I can't get away from them. What kinds of negative thought patterns? Like everyone hates me? Oh, I feel that. Damn it. Especially Natsuki. Oh, I wouldn't want Natsuki to hate me either. Oh, that's terrible. I don't think Natsuki hates you. Natsuki's upset at herself, don't you worry, Yuri. How do you know? Well, because Monika thinks back to the time she herself found herself in an altercation with Natsuki, and how a display of maturity from Monika was enough for Natsuki to reevaluate her own feelings as well. I think Natsuki is just naturally defensive. Well said. I think she acts mean when she feels the need to protect herself. But you know, she's really not a bad person. In fact, she can be really thoughtful and considerate. She really can, and I love it so much. And it's so genuine as well when she does that. She just, well, I guess the way it works is that she wants to receive some degree of kindness first before she feels comfortable returning it. Oh. But that means the burden is on me. Afraid so. And I don't know how to say things that make people like me. That is not the point. You're not trying to make her like you. You're just trying to be kind. That's all that matters. Every time I open my mouth, Yuri shakes her head at herself and tugs on her hair. It's okay, Yuri. You don't need to beat yourself up. I think anyone would like you if they had the chance to get to know you. Well, unfortunately, the opposite is true. That's why I'm not talkative anymore in the first place. Because everyone used to think that I was weird and talk about me behind my back. Oh, Yuri. Oh, I feel that too. I mean, I don't know about people talking behind my back, and I don't really care, but people get to know you and don't like you. I get that. I understand. That's just what happens when I draw attention to myself. Natsuki even said she found it more respectable when people speak their mind, so I did, and then she hated me anyway. Okay, but you were speaking your mind like a bitch, I mean. Okay, what? She doesn't hate you, though. She respected it and was like, yeah, okay, and your books are boring. Glad we got that sorted, and then you got upset, so that's on you, I'm afraid. Natsuki didn't care, because she thinks you hate her. So there you go. She doesn't hate you, though. That was enough to confirm my fears. Except that you're wrong, so... sorry. But Sayuri and I like you, and we've gotten to know you a lot by now, right? Yuri doesn't seem to have a response. Ah, can't shut that one down, can ya? Schooled! Superseded! Hey, what do you think of Natsuki? I don't think about it! That's awfully defensive, okay. I guess all the fanfic writers were right, huh? Woo! That's not what I meant, really. I just... Is Yuri actually gay? No, that wouldn't make any sense because she likes the main character. Okay, never mind. I take it back. Maybe she's bi. I was just wondering if you had an opinion on her. I do. What is it? Natsuki seems to bring out the worst in me, and I feel really ashamed of it. I like to think of myself as a fairly sophisticated person, I bet you do. So for someone to just treat me like I'm inferior, despite my tastes, that's just the worst kind of insult coming from someone like her. Someone like her? I beg you're making it worse, Yuri! And it makes me think bad things about her. But everyone else seems to like her, so the only explanation is that it's me who is doing something wrong again. Yeah, well, yes and no. No, actually, just yes, you did do something wrong. You are doing something wrong, yes. I can't even say yes but no, that's just a yes, but she doesn't hate you. You're not bad. But you are doing something wrong. And my feelings about her are wrong. Well, yes. And I'm wrong to get upset over something so childish and inconsequential. I mean, yeah. Okay, what would Sayuri say about this? I don't know. I mean, I kind of agree with what you're saying. I mean, okay, not necessarily that your feelings are wrong, though. Like, your feelings aren't wrong. You can't have wrong feelings. Feelings are not objective. Well, unless you say that you feel 1 + 1 is 4, in which case you're just stupid. But that's not a feeling. In this case, emotions are not wrong. But your thoughts are your thoughts are wrong. No, Yuri. Feelings are never wrong. Well, they're not right. That's the thing. Feelings are never right or wrong, you know? They're just a state of being that we don't always have control over. Exactly. Yes, what she said. But that doesn't mean that they have to control us. I feel like that's something I learned around when I first started the club. Yeah, we're all learning a lot from Sayuri, aren't we? We can hate ourselves for feeling a certain way about things. Or we can, just acknowledge that they exist and try to understand them better. I could never be mad at you just for just feeling a certain way. It's about how you handle them. And I think working through feelings is a great opportunity for teamwork. Yuri wears a dejected expression. You make it sound so easy. You're so mature. Yeah, she's the mature one. Unlike some people. And so good with people. Yeah, she's good with people. Unlike some people, I'm just playing. I'm being an ass. It's what I do. I feel like such a child in comparison. Oh, Yuri. I'm far from perfect. Well, we all know that. No one's perfect except Natsuki. I'm just kidding. Natsuki's not perfect. It's her imperfections that make her amazing. But these are learned skills. They didn't come naturally to me either. It's really hard to, reflect on yourself and separate your feelings from your thoughts. I just want to be a good person. Well, I think it takes a good person to get this far. That's not good enough. I want to be able to communicate it to her. Communicate what? How I feel? How it makes me feel frustrated and upset when she's so negative and dismissive of the things that mean so much to me? And how it... Go on. How it reminds me of me. And there it is. That's what's great about Yuri. See, she recognizes her thoughts, her faults. Not with a TH, her faults. And that's great, and I really appreciate that, Yuri. Because I know what it's like to feel misunderstood and angry at everyone. I know that telling yourself you're better than anyone else is just a defense mechanism. We're just people. We're fragile and unstable. But I'm just tired of that getting in the way. I can't stand it when peace is disturbed like this. Yeah, you can't focus on your reading when the peace is disturbed, right? Because... Go on, you can say it. The Literature Club should be happy for everyone. Aw, Yuri, you're a sweetie. Monica looks at Yuri in adoration. I feel like Sayuri must be rubbing off on me because I really want to hug you now. I love that. I would like a hug from Monica. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. No, I mean, well, if you wanted to, then I wouldn't really mind, so... Monica pulls Yuri into a short embrace. Can we get some art for that, please? I need something for the thumbnail. I've got nothing so far. You're so gentle. And I love when you communicate your feelings. I feel lucky to get to see that side of you. And I'm sure Natsuki will too. 100%. Natsuki loves that sort of thing. I'm going to write her a letter. Good idea! That's a good idea! I can now speak from experience and say that writing a letter is a great idea, and that's a fantastic thing to do. Good job, Yuri. Seriously, apology letter goes a long way, apparently. So I've discovered. Sometimes works better than saying it in person, you know? And that's great. But that's something I've learned, so, you know, there's somewhat a friend you need to make up with. Apology letter, and they'll probably write an apology back to you too. Well, at least that's what happened in my case. I don't know what your situation is, so maybe they don't need to apologize, but nonetheless. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Oh, a letter? What a great idea. Just because I'm not good at talking, especially under pressure. Yeah, no, that's great too. That's another reason why writing a letter is fantastic. I always let my feelings get the best of me, and I forget to say all the important things, and say things I don't mean. Well, I think a letter would be wonderful. Such a nice way to communicate. Yuri's face hardens with determination. Yes! People don't naturally gravitate towards me like they do for you and Sayori. My personality just isn't suited for that, and I wouldn't want it to be. But something I've learned is that friendships don't always just magically appear out of thin air. For instance, I never would have seen myself making friends with someone like Sayori. We're opposite in a lot of ways. Opposites attract. But I'm friends with her because she puts so much effort into understanding me so that we can get along. That is a very good statement, actually. Let's all jot that one down. That's important for satisfaction, after all. She puts so much effort into understanding me so that we can get along. Sayori tries to understand people so that she can get along with them. That's the key! That's what we were missing, me and Natsuki there. That's the one, that's gotta be it, right? So we gotta try and understand people so that we can all get along. I mean, that's just the key to getting along, really, isn't it? If we understand each other, if people understood each other's pain, then, you know, a lot of fighting would stop. If people just understood of the pain of others. It's like Pain was saying from Naruto. Y'all know that. It's Pain's speech. Well, I hope you know that. If you don't, like, start watching Naruto, get on with it. But Pain was saying the same thing, you know? If we learn to understand the pain of others, only then can there be true peace. That's more or less what he said. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but yeah, that was the gist of it. Understand the pain of others to have peace. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. And Sayori does that. She really tries to understand people. Not just the pain, but, you know, the good stuff too. That's great. You go, Sayori. Learning so much from her. I think it was the same with you. You both gave me a lot of time and patience. And I wonder if she feels the same way. Natsuki? Yuri nods. I always thought that if I wanted to make more friends, I had to be somebody that I'm not. That there's a type of person, or a magical formula I have to follow in order to make someone like me. And that's just like me to think that. Always so occupied with myself that I fail to understand other people. I mean, I'm generally pretty good at understanding others. I'm an empath, man, so I can understand people's feelings. But actually, when it comes to understanding people in other ways, you know, I do fall a bit short. Because, like she said, occupy with myself that I fail to understand. Because, you know, there is no secret formula. You just gotta be yourself and try to understand each other. Oh my Gideon! Thank you, Yuri! Yeah, I feel like the light bulb just went off in my head. That's brilliant. Brilliant! Yuri shakes her head. I feel like everybody else just already knew this, but I didn't, okay? Maybe some of y'all didn't as well. That's what this channel's all about. We'll help each other. That's fantastic. Friendship happens when you think about the other person. When you offer time and effort to understand them and respect them, and trust that they also want to be a good person. Now that's a bit of a thinker there, because, you know, I definitely feel that. You know, I always try to offer time and effort and try to understand each other. But maybe I'm too occupied with them understanding me that I don't really try and understand them. Even though I do, but at the same time I don't. Because, like, what goes through my mind is, you know, even if I try to understand them, what if they don't try to understand me? Can the friendship still work like that, like she's saying? Perhaps it can. Perhaps we just need to ignore that and try to understand them, and maybe it will be reciprocated. Maybe it won't, and then just go from there. I'm thinking of one friend in particular. I won't name names, but bit of a falling out. It was largely due to them having no attempt to understand me whatsoever, which it didn't work out. No, she used to, and that did work. Something to think about, but not right now because we're playing games. This is not the time. That's what I learned from my observations in the literature club. Observations? Monika is caught by surprise. Yuri has always kept to herself so much that it's unusual to hear her suddenly talking about the club like this. But Yuri gently smiles to herself. You always let me listen to your thoughts about people. Sayuri too, and it makes me happy because I learn a lot of things. That's so sweet. I had no idea it meant that much to you. It does. It would. I would feel that way too. That sign has nothing on it. The sign on the slippery when wet, that doesn't say... Why is there a random sign on top of that doesn't say anything? That confuses me. Monika never thought much of it, but in the past weeks, Yuri's always seemed to be especially attentive when it came to the problems and concerns of others. Always wanting to listen and learn more about her friends in the club. It's beautiful. Beautiful. It's true. Sayuri and Monika are naturally more comfortable with other people and can more easily work through situations of conflict. But that doesn't make them better people. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses, and the capacity to improve. And the first step towards improving oneself is reflection and self-awareness. Reflection! Roll credits! It's something that Yuri never gave herself enough credit for, but that Monika can recognize as an incredible trait. And with that, her confidence in the club is restored. Beautiful. That was really good. I like that. A very shy girl with long pretty hair is wandering the bustling lunchtime hallways, her fists pressed into her collarbone. When she finds the literature club president's classroom, she stands at the door, glancing all around her before peering inside. We're talking about Yuri, right? It just sounds really weird though. Monika is sitting and chatting with a group of unknown friends. Okay. Yeah, as expected. This was a bad idea after all. Suddenly, Monika glances towards the door, making the girl panic and duck out of sight. Certainly sounds like Yuri. Before she can regain composure and decide for sure to leave, the classroom door gently opens. Yuri, what a surprise to see you during lunch. Yeah, it was Yuri. Yuri squeaks a response. Please help me. Oh, Yuri. What? Is everything okay? Yuri shakes her head. I don't know how to write letters. I feel that. I understand. This is hitting too close to home. This was me. Just the other month. This was me to a T. This was me to a T. I love that. Thank goodness. I thought there was some kind of emergency. Monika briefly glances over her shoulder at her other friends. Do you want some help? We can go find an empty classroom or something. Is that okay? I feel bad for taking you away from your friends. It's totally fine, I promise. We weren't doing anything. We weren't really doing anything. One sec. Monika trots back to her classroom and says something like I gotta go to her friends, then grabs a pen off her desk before returning to Yuri. Okay, let's find somewhere quiet. Always have time for your friends. It's all good. Yuri nods and follows Monika as the two of them set off. A friend in need is a friend indeed. How are you today? Oh, Yuri making conversation. That's so cute. Huh? Me? Well, yes. Oh gosh, sorry. I was just caught off guard. I'm doing well today, just tired. I never seem to get enough sleep during the week. Mood. How come? Oh, I don't know. I just easily distracted. I get really sucked into things and start neglecting the time. Me too. I do that too. Oh, she's so excited about it. That's so cute. Hey, this classroom is empty. Let's go in here. After peering inside, Monika opens the classroom door and the two of them enter. Yuri's moment of relaxation ends. She watches as Monica pulls 2 chairs up to the same desk, then obeys as Monica beckons her to take a seat. She stares down at the empty desk. You nervous? I don't want to do this. We don't have to. We can come up with something else. Yuri shakes her head. It's my chance to do something good. I need to take initiative. That's the spirit, Yuri. Gosh, you must really be determined. I know how hard it is to step out of your comfort zone. I'll be sure to encourage you. Yuri pushes through her anxiety and grabs a handful of lined paper from her notebook. Then she picks up her pen. There we go! Oh, look at that! That's gorgeous! Look at them so close together. It's a little saucy, just a little, but very cute. I love that. Well, Monica's face in it too. Looks great. I love that. That's 10 out of 10. And Monica's pen. Never really seen an art before, but there it is. There it is. I'll be right back. Hey, you're left-handed? That's neat. I'm left-handed! OMG! Yeah. Now I don't have to worry about bumping your arm. Aww. Monica playfully rubs her shoulder against your... Oh my. Oh my. Sorry, I'm just being silly, I guess. Oh, I love that. Don't be silly with me, Monica. I need help writing a letter as well. Let's go. Anyway, how about we start by listing different things you want to say to her? Yuri thinks. I feel embarrassed all of a sudden. Oh, I feel you. I feel you, homie. Oh, it's okay. How about some of the things that you said to me yesterday? But, never mind. I guess I'll try. Yuri thinks for a moment longer, her tension evident. Then she writes the word reflection. This is about my reflection on our behavior. The key question is why we act like this towards each other, but have been able to separately be friends with Sayuri and Monica. That's me! Sayuri really rubbing off on her, I see. That's such a Sayuri response. Yes, it is. Oh, I can't. That's too cute. That's me. Yes, it is. So, Yuri thinks. I've been able to befriend the two of you because you've taken the time to understand my needs and respect my interests. The same goes for Natsuki too. We started off as pretty hostile towards each other because I was so worried about getting what I wanted, but she just wanted to be respected more than anything else. Once I stopped... Oh, wait, who was saying this? Sorry, that was Monica saying it. We started off as pretty hostile towards each other because I was so worried about getting what I wanted, but she just wanted to be respected more than anything else. 100%. Once I stopped making it all about me, she was able to do the same. I want to do that too. I love Yuri's expression though. I like how her eyes just slowly moved up. It was kind of creepy, but it was great. So what kind of things do you want to do for her? I want to do the same thing for her that I like to receive. I like it when people respond positively to the things I talk about, not just brush me off. 100%, you do that, Yuri. I like it when my feelings are taken seriously. And I like when you and Sayuri trust that I want to be a good person, even when I'm not doing a good job at it. Let's write those things down. Okay. Yuri writes some things down. I think the most important thing to remember here is that Natsuki is feeling vulnerable, so we should make sure that the letter puts her first. 100%. It's hard when you're feeling hurt, but it never helps to just tell someone all the things they were doing wrong. 100%. Agreed. I think first you have to make sure that they know you're ready to respect them and listen to them, and admit the things that you feel you could do better. Then finally, you ask what you would like in return. How does that sound for the structure? It could be 3 paragraphs, 1 for each of those points. I like that. That's good. Everybody write that down. It's good structure. 10 out of 10. My thoughts were so disorganized, I had no idea how to come up with any kind of structure. I love structured stuff. Thank you, Monica, for giving us some structure. I love structure. Let's go, team. Structure. Write it down, everybody. Write it down. I should make an Instagram post about it. The structure. You're so amazing at these things. Oh, stop. You've done so much more than I have, you know? You spent so much time reflecting and being open-minded. That's the hardest thing for anyone to do. All I'm doing is helping you put it on a piece of paper. So I think you're the amazing one. Monica gives Yuri's hand a quick squeeze. Lucky bastard. But as she lets go, she's caught by surprise when Yuri curls her fingers to hook Monica's hand in place. Aww! For a while, they sit like that in silence, save for the occasional scratching of Yuri's pen against the paper. Yesterday, you told me something that I'm thinking about a lot. Meh, me too. Hold on. I accidentally peeled off the sticker and I want to put it back on. What was that? The thing about how feelings aren't right or wrong, and that they're just a state of being we need to come to terms with. It made me think about how a person's behavior isn't always just how they decide to be. It's also made up of their past experiences and their insecurities. 100%. People need to realize that a lot more. So thank you for pointing that out, Yuri. I think that helps me to see other people as actual people rather than as insignificant side characters who are out to get me somehow. Is that how you felt about Natsuki? An insignificant side character? Are you joshing? Okay, as long as she's realizing her mistake. Yuri nods. But in reality, everyone is always trying their best. And everyone wants to be happy. Monica peers over at Yuri's paper, but to her surprise, Yuri pulls it in closer, partially covering it with her arm. That shouldn't be that surprising. I have to be able to read it to help you out, you know. It's okay. My thoughts are a lot more organized now after being able to talk to you about it. Now that I'm actually putting it on paper, I realize I'd really prefer others not to read it. Understandable. You should still have Monica look at it just to be sure you're doing okay. Yuri laughs softly to herself. A rare expression, indeed. I'm kind of glad to hear that, actually. I somehow keep finding ways to butt into this whole thing, but I've done enough damage. But it's also been so wonderful talking about this. I mean, I always thought you were really smart, but... Yuri smiles. Turns out you're stupid after all. I'm just kidding, I'm kidding. I will always be terrible at writing these things. People are just so incomprehensible to me. I'll never get the hang of being one, of being a person. But listening to you so much has really helped me make a sense of some things. So just don't call it damage, please. Damage? What do you mean? Monica gives Yuri a gentle smile. Can't believe I came to this club looking for fantasy geeks and all I got was real friends who value me. Jeez, that's so lame. Why would you want that, eh? Is that a joke? Of course it is. I still can't tell with you. Sorry. No, I love it. Please, never change. As you wish. I love that too. That was great. That was a 10 out of 10 joke, Yuri. That made me laugh. Yuri glances at the clock. Gave me a hearty chuckle. We're almost out of time. Will you be able to finish? Before the end of the day? Probably. But I don't want to come to the club the same day that Natsuki reads it. Fair enough. I'm too shy. I can give it to her instead if you'd like. Yuri nods. As long as you promise not to read it. Of course, I promise. Thank you. Yuri exhales. And the two stand up. I'll message you when it's ready. Monica nods. Good luck. I'm here if you need me. Yuri returns a nod and the two depart. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. It's gonna be great. Oh boy! Dabs. That's awesome. We got some new mail. That's scary. Got new pictures. Hey! Oh, that's so cute. Yuri will roll later. That's great. I love that. Yuri looks really, really cute in that. And I appreciate cute Yuris. We got the tea, got the flowers, we got the books. 10 out of 10. Not as cute as this girl. Oh, yeah, so good. Sorry, this is about Yuri. Anyway, were there more pictures? Yes, there was, actually. Sorry. There's this one, which we already saw. Side story Reflecion. 10 out of 10. And this one. Final background. A small, quiet stairwell, which Yuri sometimes prefers her reading location. Good to know. And we got all the backgrounds. Awesome. That's great. Love to see it. Love to see it. Oh. Hey, who's that handsome guy? Haha, that's me. Anyway. 3 more artworks. Okay. Didn't expect there to be 3. That's exciting. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. No new poems. I don't think. That's not new, is it? And there's still 1 more wallpaper. Interesting. Well, that's been awesome. We got new mail as well. Paula Miner. Staying focused on our goals. Okay, sounds great. Sounds very satisfying. Let's give it a read. These are going backwards in time, I notice. See the month? It's once a month, but we're started in September and are going back to March. Interesting. May. Paula Minor. Okay, Untitled Mail Group do not use. Thursday, December 5th. December 5th? Wait, what? Right. American dates. Because Americans are stupid. Still, we're going backwards, so we're going from the 9th to the 5th. Nonetheless, and it's not once a month. That makes more sense. Nonetheless, American dating is stupid. As a reminder, to help guide our data collection, any analysis performed should be focused on answering some of these main questions. Ooh, here we go. Now we're learning something. How does granting elevated access to the VM affect a person's emotional state? The VM? How does granting elevated access to the VM affect a person's values and goals? How does someone effectively navigate an experiment with their ability to change the contents of their VM? What is a VM? What's a VM? Is that some visual novel term I'm not recognizing? What's a VM? Somebody tell me, what is a VM? How is elevated access being weaponized? What the hell? Oh, the virtual machine. Right, I remember. Yeah, this is getting really weird and creepy. What actions and values most contribute to the destruction of the unit? What the fuck? Okay, most importantly, how might your observations apply to our own universe? I don't think we should be observing such a thing. Learning how to destroy the universe? Bonus! How can we present this to upper management as an operation that benefits the company? Unrelated note, whoever changed the color scheme of the desktop to pink, can you please change it back? It's unprofessional and runs the risk of drawing eyes. Drawing what eyes? What risk? That's very concerning, runs the risk of drawing eyes. I don't trust that at all. And I was being unprofessional, I suppose, a little bit, but not really. Come on. I mean, it's right with the goal, and we can't change it, so suck it up. Unless we can. Settings? No, we cannot change it, sorry. Next is self-love. I'm very much looking forward to this. I was looking forward to it anyway. Natsuki and Yuri episode sounds amazing, 10 out of 10. But now I'm looking forward to it even more now that we know what it's following. Yuri's letter. I thought it might lead into that, but I wasn't sure if they'd wrap it up there or not. Turns out they're not, so it's going to come into self-love, I assume. And that's awesome. I really like that. That's really cool. That's really cool. Something else that I just noticed is that self-love and reflection, the words are lower, or at least for self-love. Because you can tell, look at Natsuki's face. Balance is covering her mouth, but here self-love is not. So either Natsuki's higher or the words are definitely lower. Well, ain't that bizarre? Ain't that just strange? And understanding as well, the words are lower. Again, you can tell with Sayuri's mouth. Why is that? Which means that Reflection's words are higher if you look at the book. Weird. Okay, that's strange, but alright. It just seems to bounce up and down. Nice. Okay, cool. I like that. Anyway, that has been today's side story. That was really good. That was really good. I think we got a lot out of that. A lot of content. A lot of satisfaction from that. I'm going to start making these things called satisfaction shorts eventually, once I finally get around to it. And we're going to include things that I have learned from this Doki Doki series, especially from the side stories from Sayuri, and now from the other girls as well, which is really awesome to see. And Monica's really stepping up, and we love to see that. So, good job, Monica. That's really awesome. The rest of you girls are doing great. Sayuri, you were just fantastic from the start. Don't need to compliment you anymore. Good job, girl. And you two learning, fantastic. Love that. Anyway, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's side story. I hope you learned something even. That would be great if you learned something, especially like that whole writing a letter thing. Trust me, it's good. It's good. At the very least, it's good for you. Gets your guilt and feelings out if there is any, which there probably is even. I don't think so. But yeah, it can really help. And yeah, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. My name has been Senkara. Until next time, I forgot to say, leave a like, comment below, satisfy me by hitting the subscribe button. Now my name has been Senkara, and until next time, see ya.